is... Sumiso. You're not even the camera guy.
Well, I didn't want to be a coach. I got asked to coach the JV soccer team 10 years ago, and my first reaction was no. I do not want to coach. Never in my life did I ever imagine I would be a soccer coach at high school. Never. Not even part of my plan, not even in my dreams, nothing. I just never thought it would happen. And then one of the athletic directors asked me if I wanted to coach, and like I said no. And then he said, you know, we need an on-campus coach. And I said, let me talk to my wife, and my wife said, go for it. So I told him, all right, I'll do it. And as it turns out, now that I'm the varsity coach, I'm the first, from what I'm told, I'm the first ever on-campus varsity coach in the history of the team. Before that, the coaches have been community members, policemen, alumni, and people from outside of the school that have come in to coach the team after school. But I'm the first teacher / coach the team has ever had. So I think that makes a difference because I get to monitor my kids' grades all the time, every day, keep a close eye on their behavior and stuff like that with their teachers. And so I think it helps to have an on-campus coach, not just in soccer, but in every sport. You know, I'm very positive with my players. I've never yelled at any of my players. I think a handshake and a hug goes a long way, and I allow my players to take risks. I allow them to make mistakes. Mistakes are all part of the game. They're all part of growing up and developing, and so I make it safe. I feel at least that I make it a safe place to develop as a player, to make mistakes, and to take risks as a soccer player. And I think when you give anybody, any athlete or any student, that type of green light, that type of freedom, I think they develop and they flourish and they become the person that they want to be. So I think that's basically the secret to our success.
When was your first year, like being a coach?
My first year taking over the team was in 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
And how were the previous years, in your opinion?
Well, the previous years, the school's been around for 50 years. In the 42 years before that, they had never won a CCS championship. And then in 2009, I took over. In 2010, we won the school's first ever CCS championship. And 3 years later, we won another one. So there's been an immense amount of talent in the years past. And I'm not saying that I came in and changed things, but the only thing I think I did was change the mental approach.
You grew up in Salinas? Or?
No, I grew up in Los Angeles. I was born and raised in Los Angeles.
So you went to school over there?
Yeah, I've been here in this area for 13 years.
Oh. What was your first thought when you guys won CCS? What was the first thing?
I was just happy for the boys. That's it. I was just completely happy that they got to experience success like that, and you know, their smiles, the smiles on their faces, and just if they're happy, I'm happy. That's all it comes down to. If my players are happy, then I'm happy. If they're sad, then I'm sad. And that's kind of how it goes.
What was the biggest struggle?
The two biggest struggles during that time were, one that I had mentioned earlier, which is the mental approach, but two was the academic standing, because we lost a lot of players to eligibility the first year. Since then, it hasn't been that big of a problem because we've instilled a culture that nurtures, that cultivates tough mental approach and good academic standing. So we haven't had the academic issues we've had in the past, and that's a good thing. And so that's a lot of our kids here at Alisal. In fact, all of our kids here at Alisal High School have, because of where they live, the talent, the tools, and the talent that they need to be successful. But the one thing they need is this: they need to be strong here. And once we're strong here, then there's really nothing that can stop any of the players or athletes or students here at Alisal High School. There's evidence of that every year when we send kids to Harvard, Yale, Brown, Princeton, Stanford, and we do it every year at Alisal High School, and that's because of the mental toughness. We can do more. There's always room for improvement, and hopefully we get there.
So
you know, he said, I got to call ESPN, so he had friends with ESPN, and then he said, you know, let's just make a movie about it, because this is incredible that you guys are ranked so high, but none of you guys are going to university on a scholarship. How could you be number 3 in the nation? How could you be number 2 in California, and not a single player on your team gets a scholarship to go play at the next level? And so that's where the movie idea started. So that's what we're doing right now. I've seen a great deal of improvement in terms of our mental focus and our mental toughness. When I took over the team 8 years ago, it was pretty obvious then that the team lacked the mental toughness to play against the big teams in San Jose. Every time the team went down to San Jose, they were beaten mentally, not talent-wise because they were always the more talented team, but mentally they just couldn't deal with a lot of the things that were being said on the field to them. And a lot of people don't know this because we really don't talk about it too much, but usually when we play the Catholic schools in San Jose or the Catholic schools in Los Angeles or the Catholic schools in Concord like Del Salle, it's very common for my players to hear while the game is going on from opposing players, hey, wetback, hey, Mexican, you're poor, you're east side, well, give me a piece of lettuce. Look at you, you have nothing. And this is all while the game is going. And those things are designed to get into our players' heads. And when I first took over the team, yeah, it did. It did get into our players' heads, and a lot of guys were affected. I remember in one game, this is a CCF playoff game against one of the Catholic schools, one of my guys came off in around the 25th minute, and he was crying. And I said, what's wrong? He says, they got in my head. I got to get out of the game. And he was never the same after that. In fact, he never played again that game because they had gotten into his head with the things that they were saying to him. So one of the things that I needed to change when we took over was to my guys to understand that these things were going to be said. There's really nothing they could do to control that. But what they could control was the way they reacted to these things, that the way they maintained their discipline. And that's what we focused on. And that immediately changed our program. And, you know, since then, we've won 6 championships in probably the toughest league in the United States. We have 2 CCS championships. We've had guys go on full ride scholarships. We have professional players in the league now. So a lot of things have happened simply because we've chosen to change our mental approach to the way that we play soccer. And what I try to tell my guys too is not just the approach on the soccer field, it's the mental approach also that you have to do with life. You know, I still think we're the underdogs, and I like being the underdogs. I think that's a good thing. I think you know, we went on a 57 game unbeaten streak. We didn't lose in almost 4 years here at Alisal High School. And it's nice, but the bad thing about that is that, well, it's important to lose. It's important to lose once in a while because it reminds you of how hard you have to work to stay on top. And losing, I've learned a lot more from losing ever than I have from winning. Losing is good. It's a good thing. You have to experience it, but
Do you ever, whatever. It's because I need what motivated you to join the team?
And one motivation to join the team was just being on the team, being with the family, a second family. My brother, my cousin came here, and I would watch him play. And well, one day I would tell myself, well, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be right there playing. And well, here I am playing with this is gonna be my 4th year, and I enjoy it. My position is stopper and sweeper. Well, all along, all the defense. It's a good question. The best part is just being, like I said, being with the team. As a family, we come along, get along with each other, but it's not always rainbows and roses. We have our conflicts, our issues, and stuff like that, but we get through it and we achieve our goals, and well, hopefully we achieve them this year. My freshman year we played San Jose, a tournament. There was a school from LA, and well, from the area here in the Bay, and we were called wetbacks, Mexicans, racist things to do with Mexicans, like, I don't know, I can't remember, but it was a lot of things.
Did you feel like it made an impact on you?
Not really, it just motivated me to, like, it gave me like fuel. I use it as fuel in the game, and not let it get to my head, and just stay on focus and be with the team in the field. This year actually, it's gonna be my senior. Well, it's my senior year. Um, not really. I've been captain before my freshman year, so it doesn't feel like a big responsibility. But yeah, I get that there's more high expectation for me, and well, I'm gonna show it. I'm a demonstrate it on the field and with my partners too. No, I don't get through my head, I guess, but it doesn't feel special or anything. I just prove it on the field, show it to my coaches, to my teammates that I deserve to be in varsity. Overall, for the 4th years, it's been amazing being with them, with all the staff from the soccer team. It's just been wonderful. We get along. Yeah.
I think that's about it. Oh.
My name is Jesus Parra. This is my 4th year. I'm a senior. My experience being in the soccer team was great. I actually learned a lot. I learned from my mistakes, and every game that I play, I try to limit my mistakes so I could become a better player. My position is a goalkeeper. No, so far I haven't gotten discriminated by a team. I have experienced somebody getting discriminated. They've been told. Well, the most common one is wetback, that they don't belong here, that they should go back to their hometown. I just tell them to not listen to them, that they're just trying to get into their head. So I just tell him to keep his head, stay positive, and just play the game that he knows. You know? I don't think it affects me because I'm still focused. I'm still gonna be focused on the game. I'm not gonna be distracted, but it might bother me in a way that one of my teammates is getting offended or discriminated by another person. Yeah, it makes me angry, but one way how we can avenge that is by winning the game. One of the things that I can experience what I learned from soccer probably is leadership, responsibility. Yeah, probably just more. Yeah, I do think that our coach is a big role in us. Before a game, he motivates us. Like, he gives us speeches. Like, he does anything that he can to motivate us, to get us on that focus, the mentality that we need to win the game. And I think he's a great coach, and he knows what he's doing. So knowing that Alisal is like ranked 3rd in the nation, it motivates me more to do my best, to give it my all. So instead of being 3rd, hopefully we move up instead of going down. No, so far, no, I haven't. And of course, there's conflicts in every team. It's not always gonna be perfect, you know. There's always gonna be conflicts, problems with the players, coaches. But luckily, so far, I don't have any conflicts with the coach. Yeah, I do think it's competition. It's like every team, but playing for Alisal High School is it's like a gift, you know. Yeah, work hard, and then knowing that you're on the list, seeing your name on the list, it's like a miracle. I plan on keep doing soccer, college. Hopefully, I go to a 4-year university. And yeah, it's hard, but hopefully I do make it to the 4-year. If not, then I'll just play for a college.
Erwin Martinez. Eduardo Cervantes. Defender. Defender too, on the right. My elementary school gave me a paper to join the Gallery League. And yeah. Just for fun, because that's the only sport I do. Many times, I've been discriminated because of my color. Call me Negro.
What about you?
I haven't. Can't remember what I did because it was years ago, but I think I got mad. No, I didn't care at the time.
What about you?
If that happened to me, I would have gotten the ball and tried to hit the guy. So, something to me. That's what I would do.
Yeah, many times.
Like what?
There's this kid named Lalo Soto. We always have conflicts with each other. Never wants to pass the ball.
No, I keep it cool with everybody.
Trustworthiness, because I trust my players on the field.
I agree with it. And also teamwork, yeah. Like you work together.